We're in still phase 2. We're going to continue. We're getting ready to hang the engine now. I got most of the stuff on the engine, the lower mount, the anti-torque bar sticking out the side there. And what happens here is I need to slide the engine into the framework. Well, actually, it's just the pulley and blower there that's going to go into the framework, and then the engine will be outside of it. So I'm going to explain how I need to slide this in place, because the chains that the engine is hanging on, they're going to go through part of the mount. So I have to slide the engine up into place. The way I'm doing it anyhow, I'm going to slide the engine up into place and then put the mounts up around the chain. Then once the engine is hanging on the mounts, then I can take the chains off and they'll just fall through the mount and be released. So I'll film it for a while. I'm going to have my cameraman hold the film here while I do this and explain to you what's going on. So here, cameraman, you take this and follow me. So, okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this mount and I'm going to kind of explain to you. You got to stay back a little bit, I think. This mount is going to go here. Okay, it's going to bolt here, but if I bring the engine up, I can't get the engine in place because the chain's got to go between it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the whole frame up to the engine. I'm going to move the frame because it's lighter than the engine moving it on this cart. So I'm going to slide this in place, show the engine. I'm going to slide this kind of in place where it has to go. And what I'm trying to say is that this engine mount, got the wrong one. When the engine mount is installed, these chains that the engine is hanging on are going to be going through there. So I have to bolt it in place first, and then once the engine is hanging, which I just need to slide it in a little further, which I think I'll do. Slide it in just a little bit further here. And this anti-torque bar is always in the way here. Now there's going to be several ways. If you had a way to set the engine on and roll it underneath, but with the exhaust and all the turbocharger items all hanging on the bottom, it's hard to do. So now what I'm going to do is I got to have my cameraman get back over here and film this. So this is going to fit in here. And as you can see, this chain here goes through the mount. So let me get the bolts. I'll get it started. Now this is a regular AN bolt. Well, AN is Army and Navy. And it's got a thin washer on the head. And it's got the thick washer on the nut end. So this is going to fit in here. I'm just going to temporarily hang it. And then there's another bolt here, which is basically the same. It's a shorter bolt, and it's going to go here, and it's got a thin washer on the head end, and it's got a thick washer on the nut side. And just for ease, I copied the Torx for that size bolt. I have a bolt chart here that tells you basically. I put notes on it because those are like AN5 bolts. It's a 5/16, and then I can go by that for the torque. So the torque on a number 5 bolt is 100 to 140 inch-pounds. So, back up a little bit, cameraman. So we're going to go 100 and, let's see, it says 100 to 140, so I'm going to go like 130 inch-pounds, 135. I'll probably go 135 inch-pounds. I got my trusty Snap-on torque wrench here, so there's 120, or no, I said that wrong, 110, 20, 35, 135 inch-pounds. So, let's see if I can find my tools here. Yeah, got to get my, see, I should have been prepared, I guess. Let me go grab a socket. Yeah, so I've got to find where I put them all. Not sure I grabbed the right one here. Oops, I'm losing my microphone. So it's a 1/2 inch socket on there. I got my wires on my mic tangled up. Gotta back up. So I'm gonna see if I can get this in there. Was that the camera?
No.
I'm gonna do it fast with the torque wrench until I get snug, and then I'll always make sure that you hold the end of your torque wrench when you're torquing. Otherwise your torque will not be correct. So it's starting to, this is a snap torque wrench, so you gotta move it until you feel it snap. I'm sure most of you mechanics out there know that. Right there is the correct torque. So let me come around the other side. I keep losing my microphone keeps falling off. Okay, so now we got this one to go by. It's a little more difficult to reach. I gotta find a better way to get in there. Sometimes torque wrenches are too long to get where you want to be. So I think you can see the idea here, why I'm putting it on now, is that chains hanging onto the engine have to go through there. And once the engine is setting on the mounts, then it's no problem. Because then I can, the engine's going to be supported and the chains will be slack. Then I can just disconnect them. I know this probably isn't interesting watching me swing a wrench, but I guess that's all part of this. Okay, it's starting to get tight, so now I'm going to grab the end of the wrench. Oh, if I could keep it on there. If I wasn't trying to film this, I would be doing it a different way, but I don't want to get in the way of the camera. Go